What's up, guys? Welcome back to the garage. Gerald here with you. I wanted to get together real quick and talk about the new Ben Affleck directed movie called Air. I'm not in love with the title, but I get it. Nonetheless, title aside, I really enjoyed the movie. I want to give you my spoiler-free movie review for Air. Let's talk a little bit about it. Sonny Vaccaro and Nike pursue basketball rookie Michael Jordan, creating a partnership that revolutionizes the world of sports and contemporary culture. That's a pretty good summary there. I want to tell you one thing about Ben Affleck, guys. As an actor, and I might get some heat for this, I'm not like the biggest fan of the guy. I like him. He's charismatic, he's charming, he's done a lot of movies that I really enjoy. But where I love the guy is from the director's chair. When he directs a movie, it almost always makes my top 10 of that respective year. And Air is currently one of my favorite movies of 2023. I would probably put it in like my top 5 films so far this year. He did the same thing for me with his directorial efforts in movies like The Town and Argo, which of course was an Oscar-winning film. Now, another reason why this movie is really special to me personally is because I live in North Carolina. I live in a town called Durham. Chapel Hill is about 10 minutes away from me here at the Research Triangle Park of North Carolina, where Michael Jordan went to UNC and where his career basically started when he hit the national championship game-winning shot in 1982. I can remember that. I was a young kid. The place was freaking mayhem around here. The landscape was nothing it had been before thanks to Michael Jordan. That name, Michael Jordan, is one of the most famous names in the world. And I'm not just talking about sports. So what Ben Affleck did here geniusly, and Amazon Studios and everybody involved in the film, is they said, let's tell the story about how the shoe world was revolutionized. You have sneakerheads, these guys that collect shoes, and it's like a museum at their house. They have a closet just for shoes. That culture started with Nike and Michael Jordan. Other shoe companies are prominent in the film and still today, like Adidas and Converse. But make no mistake that when it comes to at least basketball footwear, Nike is the top of the mountain. Now, legacy of the movie aside and Michael Jordan's legacy aside, the performances in this film are like these people are acting for the last time. Matt Damon, another person who I like him, but I don't know why. I'm just never like, oh my God, Matt Damon, yes. But in this movie, his acting as Sonny, our lead character, and really the anchor of this film, he's in literally almost every scene in this movie, is just so good. I mean, it's really, really early, guys. Nobody freak out. But if Matt Damon's name was in the conversation for Best Actor come the fall or winter of this year, I would not be surprised. He really carries this film. This is possibly his best performance since Good Will Hunting. Speaking of powerhouse performances, you have Miss Viola Davis here, the absolute queen on earth who can do no wrong, playing Michael Jordan's mother. She's also a conduit for Jordan in the film because Jordan's character, aside from a few lines of dialogue in the background, doesn't make any appearances in this movie. So it's kind of told the story through his parents, James Jordan, and then his mother here. The movie is shot in a very grainy and gritty way, a little different than some of Affleck's other directed films. It's shot almost like it was made in the 80s, even though it's taking place in the 80s. So we kind of get that really cool kind of vintage aesthetic, which the nostalgia is going to be heavy for this one, especially for someone like me who grew up on the fame of Michael Jordan and kind of seeing him rise to fame. If you have any connection to the NBA or basketball or really even sports in general, I think this movie is going to eventually make a name for itself where it gets thrust into the conversation of one of the great sports movies. I really do, which is kind of funny because there's nothing really sports happening in the movie unless you consider the salesmanship and courting athletes and signing contracts as a sport, which I got to be honest, it is kind of sportsman-like in this movie. Chris Messina and Chris Tucker, 2 supporting roles in the movie. I'm going to shout out the Chris's. They are absolute scene stealers. Chris Tucker is known for that kind of funny, comedic, comic relief that he brings to a lot of his films, and he does that here too. But he also goes to a place that I have not seen him go. My friend Kayla, who I saw the movie with, mentioned afterwards, like, he really surprised her. He kind of brought out some emotion in the film, his connection to Sonny. There's one scene with a phone call where he calls Sonny from a phone booth out of town. It's really emotional, and you can really feel that Chris Tucker's character is kind of sympathetic and just feels like he failed Sonny in that one scene. And they're so close as business partners and friends at work. And you kind of get that sense through Chris Tucker's performance. He's still really funny. And speaking of funny, Chris Messina is balls to the wall, absolutely fucking hilarious in this movie. He plays kind of the sleazeball sports agent for Jordan, who's trying to get him the best deal with the best money. And he doesn't really want to entertain the deal from Nike because Jordan doesn't like Nike. Jordan likes Adidas, which we all know from the legacy of the story. But Chris Messina has this phone call with Matt Damon's character where he's just so angry at him, and he's basically cussing him out and calling him names, but he's doing it in a very almost likable way where you're like, this is so cute, even though you could tell he is so just fiery angry. Just a ton of great performances in this film. Ben Affleck's direction once again knocked it out of the park. Again, guys, there's no reason to not see Air in theaters. Amazon released it in theaters, theatrically. They said we are not going to go straight to streaming. It is a feel-good underdog story surrounding the world of sports, and you have a name like Michael Jordan kind of hiding there in the shadows as well. Go see Air in theaters. And then, of course, it'll be streaming sooner or later as well. I loved it. My score out of 100 for Ben Affleck's Air is going to be an 89. Have you guys seen Air? What did you think of it? Are you planning to see it? Please let me know down in the comments below. And please subscribe to this channel. I'll see you guys next time out here in the garage.